Hey, blessings, Priscilla Campos, Temples of Atlantis. Today, on this day, which is August 28th, we actually have Uranus starting his retrograde today. So I love the alignment, the natural alignment of our Monday classes today with this date. What we should know about Uranus. In mythology speaking, he is the grandfather of Atlantis. So to him and be that in that area of Neptune and Saturn, which are like his kid and his grandkid. It's really interesting how the dynamics play out. Uranus is known as the great awakener, the transformer, someone that brings massive change in, but he's very unpredictable. So it's not like you see the change coming. You're like, yeah, I'm prepping, I'm prepping, I'm prepping. Here I go. Maybe with someone that is transitioning from this life to the next time, say with like the cancer or illness, you have time to prepare for it. It's more of that sudden action. And so the fact that he's starting it today with where world events are could mean anything could happen within the next week. Of course, when these things unfold for us and through our collective, no matter what is shaken, we have to remember what our foundation is. And that's why I shared a great quote today, and I thought it was fantastic. It said, your spiritual practice is more important than your, like, I think it was like your need for spiritual knowledge. Meaning that if we're just in all this mode of going, 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 but we don't take the time to like ground it and sit with it and grow with it and meditate with it, then it's not as helpful as we think. And as I mentioned in class yesterday in Journey Through Chem, I'm in this big, I can tell I'm going into a big cocoon of reading. But that's also what happens when we're in retrograde season. So the bonus here in retrograde season is Venus, because she only goes into retrograde every 18 months. So currently we had Pluto that started in April, probably, yeah, April. Saturn would have popped in there somewhere in May, as would have Jupiter. Then there's Venus, no, then Neptune would have came in the end of July along with, the end of June. Chiron around the end of July with Venus. Mercury just started his retrograde, which is very short, right? Only 3 weeks, in, I think, August 23rd. And now today on the 28th, we have Uranus. So we actually have, I think it's seven planetary bodies in retrograde. And what that means is that the universe is saying, ooh, okay, slow down. What is it that you really want to create, manifest? What blocks do you have? What things are you allowing in that really aren't serving you? It's all medicine. So I've been teaching a course called Medicine of the Retrogrades. I started it in 2020 because I truly believe there is medicine. But as you know, through this class, is that the day a planet goes on retrograde, you're going to feel it the strongest. And for something like Uranus, you're going to feel it that first week. And then there's certain like alignments it will make with different planets or the sun or the moon that they'll flare up again throughout its period. And then when it comes back and stations direct, which is somewhere towards mid to the end of January, there'll also be change and shifts. But with Uranus, he is starting a new cycle with all of us. Okay, so what begins to unfold now will continue and will tell a story until we get to the end of January. And always our job through awareness is not to see anything as punishment, but be like, okay, where do I need change to shift? If Uranus is in there and the moniker is he shakens to awaken, where are you sleeping? And these are the things that we're not aware of. And I had a healing yesterday with some students, and I said, I don't know where I'm sleeping, so they can show me. And the only answer that I got really was Archangel Zadkiel, who wants to start working with me. So just not aware of all the angels that I have around me. But I'm going to read a little bit about Uranus, and you can just allow yourself to see what fits for you. Okay, so this particular retrograde is about finding our inner warrior. Now, if we think about what's happening all around our world, well, there's definitely a lot of people that are afraid and are actually viewing this as the end times, as a biblical times, which in one way it is, because it's the end of old earth as we come into new earth, new age of miracles, new Atlantis, new Lemuria, all these beautiful things. But the other flip side of that is people like us that are doing the work, that are understanding that the truth is just being revealed. And with that, there's so much power and love and unity. Maybe not everybody can give to all the people that need help monetary wise, but we can give from our Holy Spirit. And pre to our recording, we do have some sisters from this community that are going through some very hard times, either from darkness really overcoming them or the loss of family members. And there's just a lot of change always in our own group. So I love what Megan had mentioned, compassion with self for your journey, because it's an incredible one, but it's never an easy one. I think we all ride this up and down wave. The more we really respect our spiritual practices, the more that wave becomes gentler, and so that we're not crashing as hard. Because we're still in Venus retrograde, and that's about 6 weeks worth of time. But the energy of it was actually 3 months from the end of June all the way till the end of October. It's quite the spread. Family issues will continue to come up, family dynamics. And so, however, the universe is guiding you, whatever's happening besides speaking your truth, the add on to that is speak your truth through love. See through love, not that we're blinded, but what's the greater meaning? What's the greater part of this? In yesterday's class, I mentioned that I have a lot of people contacting me right now, scared of the darkness or angry at other people for not waking up. But for the majority of us, maybe minus Maria, who does our calls as well, the majority of us only woke up sometime during our adulthood. And so we used to be those same people that lined up, for all the drugs and said yes to whatever, thought the government incentives were good, and all these things until we understood the fuller meaning. And we used to drink government water all the time. So now we're in a place of honoring our spirit and honoring the human body that's a part of our spirit. So again, I just want to read a little bit and see what you think about Uranus's energy. So as a planet of awakening and change, he is active in the cosmos right now. And what he can bring is sudden and unexpected events that rattle and shake our world to its core. He is the planet of surprise. And so whatever unfolds is likely something we did not see coming. Associated with freedom and doing things out of the box, giving it a radical and innovative energy. It can be hard to guess what Uranus is going to do next, and therefore hard to predict exactly how its energy is going to manifest in our lives. Uranus teaches us the importance of going with the flow. He reminds us that we really don't have to control as much as we think. Let me pause and let you think of that. We don't have to control as much as we think we do. The art of surrender, to me, is really being one of the keys of the universe. And if we're really stubborn, we grip and we grip and we grip, we know that those things stay further away from us. If you let it go with non-attachment, look what happens. And for those of you following my thread, I put away my bed. I'm up to now 7 people that want healings from me. Bam, since I put away my bed, because I was just like, that part might be over for me right now. And sharing in my Reiki Master Teachers course yesterday, healings, I was like, well, of course you're not done, Priscilla. It feels so good also to see people in person. So, but maybe it's because I had non-attachment that I'm getting gifted from the universe once again. So as the poet Rumi says, do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know the side you're used to is better than the one to come? That's beautiful. When we recognize the teaching of Uranus, that is when we claim our power and allow our inner warrior to rise. We may have experienced sudden changes or surprises since January, but this retrograde journey is calling for us to take command, to step up and lead the way with military precision. Maybe we need to be more disciplined, more vocal, more fierce when it comes to defending our well-being. Maybe this is how our retrograde story begins, with the motivation to rise into our power and claim the life we wish to lead. So just a little bit more. Thinking about that, I really like that. Wherever you are in your journey, maybe this is where things really pick up for you. And you find that flow and that patience and compassion but you really start on a nice manifesting and magnetizing journey. By the end of Uranus's retrograde journey on January 27th of 2024, we are likely to have experienced a spiritual breakthrough of some kind. This breakthrough is likely to leave us feeling a little more accepting and a little more at peace with whatever has manifested in our lives. As the planet of awakening, Uranus is also connected to our Kundalini or life force energy. It helps to awaken us to higher truths, higher purpose, and the wisdom we have inside. Perhaps our spiritual breakthrough will allow us to see the higher truth, experience more authenticity in the way that we act, see, feel, and be, and we're open to new ideas that are outside of what we have normally considered. Whatever the journey, when Uranus retrograde finally comes to a close, we are likely to feel freer to express our true selves and lead a life that feels more authentic. So just in that energy, just having some nice, deep, deep breaths. So to do all the planetary work that we're going to do, it is important that we ground. And what we know is that Gaia is under attack everywhere around the world, and so are her people. And so there is a collective hurt, a collective mourning, and a sorrow. And we don't have to deny ourselves those energies, not something we have to protect ourselves from. We can feel through our humanity, through the losses that we're each dealing with individually, with our families, with our communities, and with the global community. And we can find ways to rise through it. So let's start with somewhere in Gaia, barefoot, and really feeling her resilience underneath your feet, whether you're stepping on cold ashes right now, a place that just experienced massive change due to fires or floods or hurricanes, earthquakes, mudslides. But feel like, let's just really understand that Gaia is forever changing. It might seem that certain things stay, but in fact, every single day she's growing, shifting, or eroding. So she herself is the example of true goddess energy, of holding space for all beings upon her surface, plus the ones within her, and doing so without really demanding very much. The great receptor, the mother to all. Let's just take some time to breathe with her. And anything you're feeling in your heart or your mind that you want to let go of, feel it like a sap or a waterfall going through you, your auric field, your chakras, and deep into the ground, past the surface, more connecting with the root of Gaia. Her surface is beautiful, of course, but her inside is where we feel her absolute love. And she also asks you, while in this meditation, to see yourself in one of those lifetimes when you've been really large, perhaps a giant or a titan, or you maybe observed Earth from outside of it, but somewhere where you can just feel how massive you truly are, not in weight, not in guilt, not in baggage, but how massive your spirit is. The way you in your life has impacted the earth through multiple lifetimes spent with her. And you could see yourself in the ocean or the forest or on a mountain, teaching, sharing, loving, practicing spells or rituals or healings or devotional services to her. And in this moment, with all that you're swelling with and the gratitude and the beauty of multiple lifetimes, can you gift Gaia something from your heart? Even if it's just, I love you. I'm grateful for you. And in this giant form, let's use our energy to bring in what's needed in each region. So allowing the element of water and its frozen component of ice to flow through your palms in every area of the earth, whether it's known or unknown to you. Can you feel yourself putting your palms on the parts that are on fire, smoky, or hot? With love. With love, you're putting out the flames. And if you don't like that part of it, maybe sprinkle the water from your fingers like it's the most beautiful, cleansing rain. And we can connect to all the indigenous people of our great earth who have been doing prayers for rain. And we've been seeing the effects of Gaia's natural cycles kick in. So we're not forcing anything. We're working with Gaia to bring relief to her and her people and her animals and her trees of all the kingdoms. Now to those areas that are experiencing floods or massive hailstorms or really, really hard to deal with weather, can we turn that tap off? Can we slow down the way that the water is running? Can we bring in, perhaps we need the element of fire here to get things to dry up? And can we make the skies clear so that the sun shines through everything, everything? So people can see a blue sky and a brilliant golden sun. And any other disasters, can we place the land back together? If there's been an earthquake that separated the land, like a piece of Lego, can we draw it back together? And we do this through love, not through guilt, not through obligation. And then we take that beautiful world of ours and we seal it with a layer of emerald green light for healing, rose pink light for love, violet light for awakening, blue light for truth, and gold light to bring in the love of our Creator, of Christ, of Mary Magdalene, of the unicorns, of the angels. And anyone that we know personally who is suffering, including ourselves, if it's ourselves, share the most love you're able to unfurl from your heart. You are loved, you are seen, you are heard, you are valuable, you are needed, you are cherished, you are protected. You are me, I am you, we are one. Then we send that golden ray energy into all parts of Gaia that are cracked, broken, abandoned, forgotten, or just can't be accessed. We send that golden love and it runs like a river through her. So just breathing. And in talking about the retrograde season, it's true. Everybody's in retrograde except for Mars. And that's really good. We don't want Mars to be in retrograde right now because Mars is the fire, right? We have enough fire right now. So let's work with them one at a time. And what we're taught is their alignment or how they are placed within our system. So the closest planet to us is Venus, but the closest planet said to be to the sun is Mercury. So Mercury is also the smallest planet outside of Pluto, and he's the fastest. So his retrograde lasts 3 weeks, and we're only coming into the first week of it. So I believe that was about last Wednesday he started. And Mercury rules our thoughts, our communication, our ability to act quickly. And so his medicine is not a punishment. All he wants you to do is to look over the fine print before you make a decision, before you launch, before you make that leap, purchase something bigger. What is the fine print? And so he's known to be as Hermes or Tot. And so he's also a scribe of the gods. He's the messenger. And that way he's also associated with Archangel Gabriel. So as he begins, his energy begins to orbit around you. Where do you know that you need to slow down in terms of your communication or to really dive deeper into it? Where have people told you you didn't communicate something effectively, or you over communicated and gave too much information? And so the way I see it is just Tot actually coming up to you now and just standing in front of you, eye to eye. He places his hands on your shoulder and he gets you just to breathe. Breathe in. Breathe as slowly out as you can. Two more times, he says, breathe in. Slow and thoughtful with your breath. One more time. We're just in stillness. What could you achieve if you sat in stillness for 5 to 10 minutes a day? Not an active meditation, not something you have to concentrate on, but just your breath in and out, a gift to yourself. That is the gift of Mercury retrograde. It gives you a little more time to just be. So this one gives an opportunity just to breathe a little bit longer with Mercury. Almost like a nervous system reset. Now let's bring our focus to Venus. Venus's retrograde is about examining your relationship with money, with yourself, and with your loved ones. It's a time when family drama comes up, when exes try to contact you, when your finances may be really brought to your attention. And so Venus is connected to the goddess Aphrodite, the Greek goddess Aphrodite, and the Egyptian goddess Hathor or Hathor. And she really carries an extraordinary amount of love, as well as sexual desire and a need to ignite our life force within. She works closely with Archangel Zaphkiel. And so just feel this energy both within your heart and within your sacral chakra. Venus just asked you to do one act of deep self-love every week. Now imagine if you're doing 5 to 10 minutes of just stillness with Mercury every day, and you add this deep act of self-love once a week. How would that transform your thoughts, the way you responded to things, your reactions and your actions? It doesn't have to be the same act of self-love, but from this Monday to next Monday, can you write something down? What do you desire? And what do you want to have done for yourself in this next week? And then seal that in both with your heart and at your sacral chakra with some orange, pink, beautiful energy. From Venus, we pass Mars today and we come into Chiron. Now, Chiron is the asteroid that helps us work through our deepest traumas and our deepest wounds of our entire lifetime. So where Chiron is in your chart is directly related to a big wound or trauma from another lifetime. And in this one, you're set to overcome it and to heal it. Chiron comes from the asteroid belt, which is a part of Maldek. And Maldek is a planet said to have existed in our system in between Mars and Jupiter hundreds of thousands of years ago, or as early as 50,000 years ago. And Maldek was destroyed through war, through greed, through lust for power. And so a piece of Maldek that exists is Chiron. And Chiron wants to heal. Now, Chiron is a centaur. And one of the most famed centaurs, one of the greatest healers that ancient Atlantis had. And so as Chiron approaches you, he asks, where is your deepest wound? And can you see all the steps you've taken to heal it? Now, a little tidbit is that your Chiron return will happen to you when you're 50. When you're 50, Chiron will come to the exact same place as he was the day you were born. So for those of us nearing 50, know that Chiron is going to be your guide and your medicine. It's not a punishment, but any type of healing crisis that you're coming into, you need to see where Chiron is in your chart, in what house, and what does it mean, in what sign. So you have the heads up, so you can work with him with more ease. But he says right now he comes behind you and he places his hands around your crown chakra. And he says very simply, can you see the ways that you've worked to fix this? Now, after Chiron, we come to Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of joy, expansion, blessings. He's the one that wants us to see our life through the lens of laughter, to understand the cosmic joke. And he's also the sign of the guru. And so there is something in your life that you are mastering and that you will be a master of by the time you finish this life cycle, if it hasn't happened to you already. Jupiter is also known as Zeus, and his energy is very much related to Archangel Jophiel. Citrine energy, abundant energy, blessed energy. And so as we focus, what area in your life do you want expanded? And I mean expanded beyond any limits, so that you feel abundantly blessed every single day. And we ask Zeus and Archangel Jophiel to help with that expansion. An I am statement would be perfect to insert here. Now from Jupiter, we make our way to Neptune. Neptune, who's also Poseidon, who is the father of Atlantis, the god of water, of the ocean, of sea quakes, of earthquakes, and in many ways of weather. And so he pairs very well with Archangel Uriel, who is God's light, who also helps with the weather. So we call upon Poseidon, Archangel Uriel now to restore Gaia's natural patterns, to put an end to the weapons and the mechanics that creates false weather and destructive weather patterns on our planet. And for those who use those machines to come back to the light, to come back into balance, to choose love over harming humanity. Now, Neptune is also the planet of illusions and of dreams, but his medicine is opposite. When he's retrograde, as he is now, the illusions fall. And this is where we are in our planet's history. Everybody is beginning to see exactly what is happening, and that is a gift. And so we say, thank you, thank you, thank you, Neptune. Thank you for your medicine. Thank you for showing us the truth. It's not that our world is dark. It's that darkness has always been here. And now is our chance for everyone to see it and choose love. When Atlantis was taken over by the darkness, people didn't know what was happening. They didn't understand what selling their souls meant. And that has continued to happen. People have sold their souls into darkness for fame and wealth and power for the last 30 or so thousand years. And now it's coming to a different part as we enter the age of Aquarius. As more of us awaken, this time we're going to choose the light, our courage, our integrity, our strength. So feeling that love pour in like a wave from the ocean. Because the illusions are dropped, we now ask Neptune to connect you to your greatest dream and see it as realized. As you formulate this dream, spare no expense on detail so that you feel every aspect of its abundance, of its peace, of the light, of the joy, the happiness it brings both to your life and others, and live in that moment for this brief time we spend with Neptune right now. Filling in all those details. Allowing yourself to feel the joy of it all. Maybe there's some dreams you forgot that you had, and Neptune is just laying it out for you. And then from Neptune, we find our way to Uranus. And Uranus's power today is going to be extremely potent. Feel the power and the resonance in his voice. What's going to be the story? How have you already changed and grown since January? What story can you see between January and August? What did you grow into? And now from August to January, can we just put the statement in? I expect the unexpected and I flow through it with grace, dignity, and awareness. I expect the unexpected and I flow through it with grace, dignity, and awareness. I expect the unexpected and I flow through it with grace, dignity, and awareness. Now, Uranus has this incredible, incredible sword, which to me looks like one we can associate with King Arthur times. It's heavy, The handle of it is very well decorated. And it has the gemstones that align to the 7 chakras, the 7 personal chakras. And he will insert it. He can insert it from the top of your head all the way through, or through certain ones individually, but it's going to be swift. And when it goes in, it turns. And when it rips out, it crumbles. It crumbles illusions, stuckness, stagnancy, frustration, whatever needs to be lifted out of your chakra system. So you decide where you want it to go. We take a deep breath in. We allow it to go through. We allow it to turn. And then it pulls out. And say that again. This time I'm really going to focus on it going through each of my chakras and taking out anything that's not for me any longer. One last time. For all of humanity and anyone who's accepting of these energies. And all I hear him say is, you will awaken in far greater ways than you can ever imagine. Have faith in humanity. This is an incredible time to be on the planet. Thank you to Uranus. Our very last planet is Pluto. Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, associated with Hades, associated with Osiris, Anubis, and also the angel of death, Archangel Azrael. Azrael is really about transitions and transformations. So just making a small list of how certain things that have died in your lifetime have led to a stunning rebirth. Friends leaving your circle has led to more authentic friendships with people who are aligned to your values, your morals, your integrity, your awareness, your vibration. Being let go of a job freed you up for the work that really fuels your soul. A broken relationship allowed you to know yourself in greater ways. Whatever it is, being aware that Pluto's medicine is a gift. Now focusing back on your feet being on the earth, we feel all the planetary energies around us, and each of them associated with the gods or goddesses, the guides, the ascended masters, or the angels that we know and love. Feel yourself held in space by this all. Allow the etheric angel wings that you have, that you possess, or maybe they're fairy wings or eagle wings, whatever that is, expand them out brilliantly and beautifully, and then allow yourself to be folded within them, hugged, caressed, and cocooned with the love of the universe, of God, of Gaia, of all we are a part of. We just say thank you, 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 thank you to the medicine of each retrograde, to this chance to slow down, be still, and receive messages. This moment, for those live, we're going to take a 5-minute break to continue to integrate the messages or the energy. For those on the replay, I hope you had a wonderful visit with each of the planetary energies. Please feel free to share in our group any insights that you've gained, any messages that have come through that seem relevant. And I just want to say thank you. August has been an interesting month. We end it with Uranus. And soon we're going to enter a new season. So lots of shifts and changes upon us. In gratitude, Ramatimara, Golden Atlantean blessings, grounding through the Rama, 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 Kriya, Raku.